Good morning. What's good? Even though the weather is crap, I'm feeling really stoked. I'm feeling really blessed. I'm feeling really motivated right now. It's been a good couple of weeks. Nothing significant or major has happened. I just feel like I've locked in to the hustle, not the hustle mindset, but just the hustle routine. And my goal for this month, for February, is to work every day this month. And when I say work, because of my lifestyle and whatnot, that's a somewhat ambiguous term, because some days I'm doing my retail job, and some days I'm doing 1099 subcontractor work, and some days I'm doing 1099 gig work. But through those three primary sources of income, I plan to work every single day for the month of February. I didn't, plan this out really until I realized that it organically might happen. My retail job is scheduling me right well, and with the 1099 subcontractor job, we have multiple jobs kind of lined up and that we're juggling, and things are cruising. It's awesome. Real quick side note on that. The last few weeks have felt really good in that the lead was on vacation for a while, so it was just me and the GC, general contractor, and there were moments where I intentionally felt, or I told myself, now is an opportunity to show the GC that you are growing in your skills, your experience, and also confidence. There's a lot of just being confident that goes in with construction, and not like cocky, not arrogant, but just things are gonna work out. You're gonna do a good job. Now go have fun and build some shit. And even though I did break a pane of glass, go watch my shorts. I did a short. We're working on someone's solarium, which is like a fancy sunroom thing attached to a house, right? But with glass panels. These things were old as shit, and it's actually going to work out better in that when we replaced the one, the homeowner was like, oh, we have to do them all now because of how good and clean the one looked versus these things are 30 or 40 years old potentially. It was an old structure, but anyways. So I broke one of the glasses, but beyond that, it actually worked out better because now the job is grown in scale without the customer being mad. So hopefully the boss makes a little more money. I'll get a few more hours on the job, which is cool. But, so even though I did that, there were other projects and other tasks we did where I really do feel like I showed the boss I'm growing. And it was a good feeling. And even now that the lead, he's back this week, him and I we cruised together. We're doing, preparing to side a house with hardy siding, and it's something we did last year. We're trimming out new windows, wrapping the house, and last year they kind of had to explain everything to me, so it didn't go fast. This year, because it was already in my head, I just knew what needed to be done. I talked to the lead and we just built a plan and we just cruised through it. And in that moment I was just like, damn, I've leveled up, and it's a good feeling. Now I'm not quite at the point where I should ask the boss for a raise. It's coming up, but something I also need to keep in mind is that I'm the lowest guy on the crew. There's the boss, there's the lead, there's the finish guy, and then there's me, like the apprentice, right? And then there's a whole bunch of other subs, but in terms of like the main crew, that's the structure. So I might, get a couple dollar raise, which I probably deserve, but then my hours are going to get cut because, he has to manage a budget too. And I totally understand that. So it's a delicate balance. He has to profit on the jobs as well. And I think just right now, everything is good. The best scenario would actually be if I could get a truck. If I could somehow get a truck and make it work while I'm living in my van, which wouldn't be too hard, just park it somewhere near, it can work. But if I could get a truck and then I'm starting to do material runs, I'm starting to do dump runs, I would then be close to advancing from what an apprentice to a journeyman. The reason it's called journeyman, just you probably don't care, it doesn't matter, but it's because you have the skills and the resources to journey independently to a job site to do work. So that's when you become a journeyman. And I'm close. I am so close. But let's circle back the video that took a sidetrack. Working every day this month. My goal, kind of, it's still forming. I'm not, solid on all of this. I just have this sense that I need to hustle right now. And I've got 2 credit cards I'm carrying a balance on right now that I just have been struggling to pay down. And for like probably 2 or 3 years, I've just had $3,000 between these 2 cards. And I've had other cards and whatnot, but like these 2 in particular, because they're sort of like the oldest accounts, I just sort of neglect them. I try to pay off the newest, smaller ones first and snowball things. But my goal is to get one of them paid off. One of them has a $1,000 balance, the other has a $2,000 balance. So by my March paycheck that will account for all of these hours, I want to have that $1,000 credit card balance paid off. And it really can snowball. And I'll just real quick throw this out there. If anybody's struggling with debt, what I've found the best approach to be is the snowball method, where you tackle your smallest debts first. So that way, that minimum payment on that smaller debt can then be applied to your next smallest. And once you get your next smallest, both of those minimum payments can combine to go to the subsequently next smallest. And so it does snowball. And so instead of having 6 different minimum payments of $40 here and there, you get that down to 2 payments where it's a $200 payment on one debt and a $40 on the next one. It quickly can help. It's what I believe has really helped me progress over the last 5 years, because holy cow, things were really bad for a while. Things aren't great, obviously. I'm living in a minivan, but I'm on the path to things being great. And right now that just requires more sacrifice and more hustle. I should smoke less weed. I know that. I should lose some weight. I know that. I have lost a few pounds, I think, because I did buy new pants and a new hat. It was time. If you watch my video from a few weeks ago, Who Else Is This Broke? I had been wearing pants with big holes in them. It crossed the line from like socially questionable and edgy to he's just fucking a hobo. So I finally bought new pants, and I bought a size smaller, and they fit perfect. And I got this hat too because Carhartt was running a deal. I try not to buy Carhartt stuff when it's full price because it's ridiculous. Spend $100, you get $20 in Carhartt cash. So I got pants, a hat, and I also needed a new belt. So it all worked out. I for like a month, it has been on my life list. You need new pants and you need a new belt. And it worked out, thankfully, which is gonna help because, having new pants for hustling when I go to my retail job. I think my boss noticed my clothes were a little dirty the other day, so I might get a talking to today. I have a suspicion. But anyways, moral of the story, I don't want to glorify hustle culture. I don't think that's the natural human way of things. I'm just a generally high energy person who fell behind financially, so I need to utilize that high energy to get caught up. Whatever that means in this economy. But, I think the normal, natural state of humanity is actually more aligned with nature and flowing with nature. And nature has seasons, such as life should have or does have. Whether or not you are able to acknowledge and recognize them, that's a different story, But for me personally, I would say the last season of my life has been winter. The last, I want to say almost 10 years now. I think it was fall before that, and then winter, and now I think the season of spring is upon me for my life. And I'm getting a little emotional thinking about it. I'm sorry. It's just, life's been really rough the last few years, and it's nice to know it's going to get better. Because I'm sure you felt it too. Anyways, I'm going to wrap up the video here. I didn't intend to get this way, but if you're struggling too, I just want to tell you to keep pushing. Keep pushing. because it will get better. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. Do all the things and ways that you can support me in this journey as we build the new earth and we seek to not let the ruling classes divide us. Much love.